processing surcharging on debit, prepaid, and gift cards. So reading through this, especially for no one, if you're a merchant that doesn't really understand it, it can be kind of scary, especially with the word using illegal and things of that nature. But the reality of this is what the DLCA is saying is true, 100% true in regards to surcharging. Surcharging is very distinct. What surcharging is if you have a price listed, and the main word here is displayed price. So if you have a displayed price in your business, up on the wall, on your menu board, on a quote sheet, whatever the case may be, if it's a displayed price, that price cannot be higher than what you put in your credit card terminal without regulations. That's called surcharging. So surcharging, for example, I have $10 on my menu. I type $10 into my machine, but when the customer pays, they get charged $10.30. In this scenario, the customer never sees the final price of $10.30 before they pay. They saw a price of $10. They saw $10 go into their machine, but then they were charged $10.30. That is surcharging. Now, take a step back. When we first started in this territory, like 4 years ago now, I think we're going on 5 years with Salty Locs, this was one of the things that we really looked to eradicate. When we started this company, it was, yes, to help people save money, but the biggest part of this business was to teach knowledge, to teach education, to take 30 years of combined credit card business and give it back to the people of the Virgin Islands, right? Because the reality is, I call it the Wild Wild West. It's kind of like everybody just kind of does what they want. For example, a lot of the businesses that we walked into, you would see that they have a sign, or they would put a note, or they would do whatever. They would say, hey, it's an extra 3% if you pay with a credit card, or they have it on your menu, 3% charge if on a credit card, or 4% charge with a credit card. The problem with that is one, you have to be licensed and registered with your credit card processor. None of the credit card processors to this point that we know how to do this process correctly. The second part of that is all the businesses that we have gone into have pretty much taken this upon themselves, right? They get their rate, and it's a high rate from their credit card processor because, again, credit card companies that were down here before us pretty much just use this as their piggy bank down here. They charge customers whatever they want to charge, and they tell them they have to pay those rates because, hey, you're in the Virgin Islands, so you're subjected to these higher rates, right? So customers are getting, business owners were getting their statements, and they're paying 4, 5, 6%. And they're like, man, this is too much. So we're going to do something that cover it. We're going to start charging a fee. But they started doing the fee in-house, right? They started doing it themselves. They never registered with their actual credit card processor. Most times their credit card processor doesn't even know what they're doing, right? The credit card processor that they're using, we're not going to say their names on here so we don't get in trouble, I guess, but they don't police their merchants. They just give them a rate and they let them do whatever they want. That's the problem, right? So we've come down here. I mean, heck, just a while ago, we're moving offices. We're getting our doors changed. And the guy who sent us the thing sent me a quote and said, hey, it's going to be X amount of dollars. And I said, okay. I sent him a credit card. He goes, oh, it's going to be an extra % charge on a credit card. I said, well, I'm going to pay with my debit card. He said, still the same thing. Doesn't matter. You're paying with a card. You're not paying me cash. That's surcharging, right? So you quote me a price of $100. Then you tell me there's a 3% fee on there, and you add 3% to it, make one fee. That's surcharging. With surcharging, there's a lot of rules with that. It's why Salty Locs does not practice surcharging. 1, you have to be registered. 2, you can't do it on a debit card. 3, you can only do it to a maximum percentage. 4, you can't do it on gift cards and prepaid cards and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot that goes into it. The DLCA, going back to that, they're exactly right in what they put in. 100% right. The other side of that is if you are running an illegal surcharge program, we'll say illegal because that's the word they used, the higher fine is you're going to be charged for Visa and MasterCard. Visa's first initial fee, once they've warned against it and you've done nothing to correct it, is $5,000. Let me repeat that. If Visa or MasterCard find you in violation and you've done nothing to eradicate it through their conservation acts to reach out to you, the first fine is $5,000, and you lose the ability while you're going through their compliance piece to take credit cards. It's a big number, right? Your business pays that. Your credit card processor is not going to cover that for you. They are going to try to charge that to you. And if you don't have the money to pay it, then they're just going to drop it on you, and they're going to shut down your credit card services, and you won't be able to get credit card services. Now, you might think, oh, well, if I get in trouble for surcharging, I'll just go sign up another company. Not how it works. You get in trouble with Visa and MasterCard in one of their violations, it follows you like the plague. It goes with you where you go. They will find you, and they will continue to do the same thing. So surcharging sucks, in my opinion. It's hard to do. You have to regulate it. And then you might say, okay, well, I'm going to do surcharging and charge it, but I'm not going to take it on debit cards. It's very hard to police that. Debit cards are 3 forms, right? It's not just someone putting in as a PIN number. A debit card is a debit card no matter what. If they run it as credit, it's still debit card. If they run it with a PIN, it's still debit card. If they pay online with a debit card and they type it in, it's still a debit card. Any sort of debit card cannot be surcharged. That is where the violation is. Nobody's going to police that. I'm telling you now. You're going to try to say you're going to do it in your business. You're not going to do it. And then you might try to do it as an owner, but your employees aren't going to do it. It's very, very hard to do. The other side of that, and why we don't do surcharging or allow our clients to do surcharging, is 80% of your business is debit cards. That's how your consumers or your card holders are paying you, right? It's either a bank from one of the local banks here, or it's a debit card from back in the States. That's how they pay. So where you would be trying to save the money at 3%, and you're not going to do it on debit cards, you really only save about 20% of the cards that come in, because 80% of it's paid with a debit card. And that's one of the big reasons why we don't do it. It's very hard to regulate it. It's very hard to do the business with surcharging, and we just don't do it. So back to what the DLCA is. The DLCA is 100% right in regards to surcharging. The problem that we have with what came out is we don't do surcharging. We do either dual pricing or we do reverse cash discount. The DLCA doesn't recognize that, or they don't understand what that is. We've tried to reach out. We're still trying to work that out, trying to talk to them and, sit down and give our knowledge in a place, but that's the problem we have. So we'll go down the list. Reverse cash discounting is very simple. It is the simplest form of doing business that I can imagine. Same scenario, the $10 scenario. Now, instead of having $10 up here, I'm going to make that say $10.35. I'm going to put a note on my menus, on my inventory board, whatever, 3.5% discount if paid with cash. My new price in my stores, in my business, my retail, my restaurant, my quoted price, whatever, now has the 3.5% or the 3% or whatever we have you set at embedded into the price. My new price is $10.35 or $20.70. I give it 3.5% discount when paid with cash. What that looks like is very similar to this. I don't know if we can see it on the screen. You see it on the screen good? Yeah, okay. All I have to do is type in the new price. $20.70. I type that in. Now, as you see on the screen, it displays $20. If you can see that good. Yeah, there you go. It displays $20.70 as a card price, $20 as a cash price. Shows them both fees, shows them what it has. My new price in my business is the $20.70 or $10.35 or whatever it comes out to be. That's my established price. I'm now giving you a discount if you want to pay with cash. So before, when you had the cash price and I'm going to charge you a fee to pay with credit, I'm just reversing it now. Here's my established price that has the card fees in it, and I'm going to give you a discount if you pay with cash. That's called reverse cash discounting. In that manner, it does not matter if you take a debit card. It does not matter if you take a credit card. Card is card, cash is cash. It doesn't matter. Surcharging rules do not apply to that. We register you with Visa and MasterCard as doing what is called dual pricing account. So they know you're on a flat rate and you're 100% ready to go. You can take debit cards, you can take credit cards, you can do whatever you need to do because your established price, your displayed price, the price in your business or on your menus is the higher price. I'm going to give you a discount if you pay with cash. The second part of this, the even cooler part is you don't even have to give a discount if you don't want to. You literally can mark your prices up to $20.70 or whatever the fee is, working with us, whatever we work out because it's a flat rate. And you don't have to give the cash discount. You can embed your prices, have it at the new price up here, and leave it as it is. I have some clients here on the island that we're going through this processing with that, one of their items was going to be $10.35. And he was like, hey, I don't want to mark it up $10.35. I just want to mark it up to $11. 100% fine, man. 100% fine. Because when I type it into the credit card machine, it's either going to be at or less than this price shown here. And that's the biggest deal. If this price here is what shows up in my credit card terminal is less or the same price, that's dual pricing, that's reverse cash discount, 100% fine. Debit cards, credit cards, no problem. Do whatever you want. Okay? Very easy to do, very easy to understand. You can still cover your credit card fees. All that's very easy to do. That is considered what we call reverse cash discount. I have the credit card price. I'm giving you a discount for paying with cash. Easy to do. As we showed you, we can do it on our machines. You can set it up in your Clover system. You can set it up in your POS. Very easy to do. For those out there that are doing quotes, like I'm quoting someone else. I talked to one of my other clients last night. I said, hey, when you do your quotes, you just need to quote them with your credit card percentage built into it. He's on 3% flat. He quotes it with his percentage in there. So now when he does $1,000 quote, it's $1,030. I give you a 3% discount if you pay with cash. That literally is all you have to do. That is 100% compliant. You actually don't even have to put signage up for that because your new established price is what is on the board or what is being quoted. I give a discount, paying with cash. So that's reverse cash discounting. The other side of doing things, and we have a lot of people in our Clover system, is what is called dual pricing. Two prices are being shown. Okay. This is where it gets very straight to the point. And every single one of the items they have in their store displayed, they have a cash price and a card price. Cash price $10, card price $10.35. The key here is that you are being displayed the price that is going to be charged if you pay on a card. That is the key. You have to display both prices, the card price and the cash price. When you go to the terminal, it still does the same thing. It'll show you the card price and the cash price. In that scenario, it doesn't matter what they pay with. Debit cards, credit cards, prepaid, whatever, rubies, whatever. It's either a card or it's cash. That also is not regulated by the surcharging laws that the DLCA has put out. That is considered dual pricing, and that is 100% legal in all facets of business. It is covered by Visa and MasterCard. You are 100% covered in that area. Those are the two ways of doing it. What you can't do is sign up with a credit card processing, being us or being anyone else, and then decide you're going to add your own fees. You're not allowed to do that per Visa and MasterCard because you have to be registered with Visa and MasterCard as a flat rate so that you understand the science around this. If someone tells me, hey, JP, I want to sign up with your services and I don't want to pay my credit card fees, we're going to advise them. Do you want to do reverse cash discounting where you show the more expensive price and give a discount, or do you want to show both? Most of them say, I want to show the more expensive price and want to give a discount. Great. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set your account. Let's say it's 3%. I'm going to set your account out flat at 3%. We write up the service. It's 3%. That means everything that gets processed through your credit card machine that comes through our platform is going to be assessed 3%. How it becomes a wash is now that your prices are also 3% higher. So if it's $10, it's $10.30. You're collecting 3%. We're charging you 3%. It's a wash. You pay no credit card fees. Lindsay, I've got here on the phone. This is something that we dealt with as we were going through this for the last couple of years, because again, we would go into places and they would have this fee. Oh, we're going to charge 3% or 5%, but they weren't registered with their company. So they're charging 3%, collecting it from their customers, but their processor, which is us, didn't have them, or processor like us, right? Not us, but another processor didn't have them set up on a flat rate. What happens in that scenario, if your business is charging 3%, but your business over here, your processor doesn't have you set up that way, you're technically paying rates twice. You think that, oh, I'm collecting the extra 3%, which is paying my fee, but that's not how it works, because your credit card processor is charging you on the original $10, and they're charging you on the extra 30 cents you collect, and you're paying them both. You see what I'm saying? Because you're not registered as a flat rate account. When we come along, we set you up as a flat rate account so that the 3% that you collect or the 4% you collect is the same over here, and they wash each other out. You can see that when you go to your statement, because we would look at people's statements and they're collecting 3%, but their rates are like 4 and 5 and 6%. That's because they're paying the extra costs. That's the difference. Salty Locs, when we established this company, our goal here was, yes, we want to help people save money, but our goal here was really to educate and give knowledge through the industry and in this territory. If any of you all have dealt with us in any form whatsoever, you will know that our people first care about your business, usually more than you actually care about your business, right? We care about how you process. We care about how you're doing things. We're going to give you knowledge and we're going to give you education, whether you're our client or not. The reality is we want to take care of the territory and give you all the same benefits that people in the States have. That is our goal. Yes, we also do business. So we get people and we take care of them. We become their credit card partner. That was the other thing that was very apparent when we first started down here, is you guys didn't have a credit card partner. You had a company you used, but when you needed service from them, you might call them 1-800. They might text you back. It was kind of here and there. That's not what you get with us. We answer the phone, you text us, we take care of it. We're usually Johnny on the spot or really after that, because we care about our clients. That goes through the whole process with everything else we do. You have two people here, Julie, our president, Arlencia, our outreach director. This is our company, right? These are two people that are from the islands, born and bred here, that wanted to bring something back to their territory, that wanted to actually help the people here. Not about what money are we going to make or how we're going to do this, but what impact can we make in a positive change for the business of the Virgin Islands. That is where our success has been. That is where the grassroots building of this has been. One client at a time, taking care of them fully, giving them transparent education, giving them transparent knowledge, teaching them the ways of the business. The truth is, we don't really care about how much money we make on you. And I know that's hard to believe, but we don't. Yeah, we turn a profit, but we don't turn near the profit we could, because we care more about the clients we serve. We care more about the businesses we take care of. That is apparent in everything we do, just like this here. This is free education for everyone. You have cash discount, you have dual pricing, you have surcharging. It's very important that you know the difference between the three. You're welcome to reach out to us. I'm sure we're going to continue here, but you're welcome to reach out to us on any of our platforms. Email us, call us. We'll drop all that information. This is all we do. Been doing credit card processing for close to 25 years, collectively 30 years. We know processing, and we will educate you correctly and help you get where you need to be. The flip side of that is it's very expensive to take credit card processing in the Virgin Islands. It is. If you look at your statements, you pay international rates, you pay domestic rates, you pay maybe a PCI fee, extra transaction fees, all this stuff. Some of that we can help you with, but it's very expensive to take credit card down here. Very expensive. How do you offset that, right? How do you know you have to offset that and have that business, right? The other side of that is with this whole pricing plan, we also understand that you all pay 5% gross receipts on everything you sell. So we do understand the adherence to not really want to raise your prices, because then you're paying that extra 5% on that extra price. I understand that as well. However, what I'll tell you is I don't look at it that way. You raise your price to cover your credit card fee, that eliminates 100% of your credit card fee. Now you're paying 5%, but you have no credit card fees at all. So you can take that piece out of the puzzle, which is going to make it a lot easier for you down the road. All right. That's my spiel. These girls know I can go on all day about credit card processing. I love this job. I love what we do. I love being out in our community, especially with these two, and just visiting clients and taking care of clients and talking credit card business. It's just what we like to do. So we are always here to cover you. What do we got? Any questions?
We didn't get any questions, but we always get questions all the time. So I figure I'm going to spitball and I'll
I just saw a question.
Okay. So you want to answer the question for us, outreach director? I'm opening the business. Do I have to get a Clover?
No, you do not. It all depends on what type of business you have, whether you need to track your inventory, if you need to track your employees' clock-ins and clock-outs. But if you just want a device just to take a credit card payment and that's it, there you go. The Deja Vu is your go-to. If you just want to just swipe a card and go. We have that one that can be inside your store. And we also have a mobile one. Do you guys have that one?
Yeah, we're going to grab it right now.
I have it here.
Oh,
boom.
It's the mobile one, right? Yeah. This is the one that mostly, like, and any mobile business usually carries one like this. It's small and compact, like a cell phone. A lot of our taxi drivers get this, our, like, tow truck drivers, et cetera, et cetera. But if you just need a device to just run a credit card, you don't have to get Clover.
Right. Let's talk about them. So a lot of times we walk into a business and they have a Clover Flex. They don't necessarily do inventory. They're using the Clover Flex, especially a lot of medical places, right? They're using the Clover Flex. We've been in, you and I, Arlency, have been in. They're using this at the, it's a white Clover Flex. They're using it at the front to take payments, but they're also in the back typing into it when they take stuff over the phone, right? The reason that business got sold a Clover Flex is twofold. One, this is very important. Clover and any Clover product only works with the company you got it from. Let me repeat that. If you decide you're going to get a lease from one of the other companies here on the island, we're not going to talk about them, or you're going to buy a Clover from XYZ, whatever the case may be, that Clover device will only forever work with the company you bought it from. So they want to quote you a business. They want to put a Clover in because they know once they have that Clover in there, you're stuck with them unless you go buy another Clover or you find someone else that'll do a switch out program like Salty Locs will or whatever. You're going to be stuck with the Clover system. The other reason they put in a Clover device is because they're a one-stop shop, or not a one-stop shop. They have a one-track mind. They haven't done any research and figured out how to actually bring a better product to the Virgin Islands. The reality is, yes, we do Clover, and we do a lot of Clover. We do a lot of Clover in restaurants. We do a lot of Clover in like retail places that need inventory. However, if you're just a business that needs to take credit cards, or if you're a medical practice, which we'll talk about in a minute, but if you're just a business that needs to take credit cards, this is the way to go. 2 reasons. Well, actually 3 reasons, right? One reason, Arlency, and you know this, is because we control the SIM card that's in here. So all of these devices are kind of USVI proof. That's what we call it, right? They have a SIM card for when broadband and Starlink go out, and they have a backup battery for when WAPA goes out. You literally could be sitting inside. Do you have, yeah, we'll answer that. You literally could be sitting inside of your business with no power and no internet, and this credit card machine will work. Ask the people of St. John Christmas Eve how their Christmas Eve went. One of the busiest nights of the year to sell, right? half the island's out, but not our clients. Our clients had to use devices so they could take credit card machines, right? The other part with this, and this is a really cool thing to know, this is actually a free placement with Salty Locs. Unlike other companies who are going to try to sell you a terminal or lease you a terminal, or any one of the banks out here that are going to rent a terminal to you forever, this is actually a free placement and warranted by Salty Locs. We cover this equipment fully. It goes down, we'll get you another one. This is how we get you running, or this here. This device here does everything. Tap cards, insert cards, credit cards. You need to take EBT, we got it. You need to take gift cards, you got it. You need to take stuff over the phone, we got it. The back end of this, what we kind of alluded to, we probably won't do it all today, but there's a plethora of a back end system that comes with this. For example, we have a lot of medical facilities, a lot of billing facilities. We do a lot of like the places that do the gases, or they do sand and gravel and all that placement, things of that nature. They have this machine for people that walk in the front door, take payments all day. Great, works, right? Or they have 4 or 5 of these. They're all tied together. They can go into one place. The cool part about this is they're a back end of this, a back end web, kind of like a virtual terminal. So threefold on that, right? You have multi-terminals. You can log into the back and you can see all the payments and all the terminals no matter what. Or you have multi-locations. We have several businesses here that have multi-locations. You can log in one place and see all your transactions everywhere. You also, through the virtual terminal, medical facilities, things of that nature, can do payments online. So I can take payments here, but I can also go on the virtual terminal. I can take payments online while I'm talking to someone. I can send links from either the machine or online. I can send a link to say, Julie owes me $100. I can type in here $100, send the link, send it to her email or her text, goes right to her. She clicks on her phone and pays me straight from this terminal. It's awesome. That back end piece, that virtual terminal, you can log into it anywhere. You also can tie it to your website. So if you need to take payments on your website, we can tie it in. Boom. Now you're taking payments on website. You're taking payments over the phone. You're taking payments in person. You can take payments on your phone, your actual cell phone. It works. And it works no matter where you are. It is the coolest system out there. And the cool part is we give the software on the back end for free. Let me say, for free. It literally costs you nothing. You don't have to pay anything extra for it. It's built into our system. We give it to you. It is changing the way businesses are done. You don't have to go out and get a practice management system or a customer resource management system or none of that. It's all right here. You can track your customers. You can do recurring billing. You can keep cards on file. You can do all kinds of stuff. I urge you, and again, jump on our website. We do free demos of that software. We give it to you all. We are changing the way things are done around here, and you guys would love that stuff. So jump on there. All right, what do we got?
A question from Sally. Do you have to display the dual payment on both the machine and the menu?
Hi, Sally. Thanks for jumping on. So the answer to that is very specific. Displayed price. So you have to show on your menu, if you're going to display 2 prices, you have to display the price. It's the displayed price. That is the number one key, right? So you can't show $10 and then on your Clover system, it showed. So let me back up. Your Clover system does 80% of the compliance program, in that your Clover system or your credit card machine, if it's through us, shows 2 prices before they pay. That is the point of that machine. It is being displayed on the credit card terminal or your Clover or whatever. I have a card price and I have a cash price. Here's what it is. In the eyes of Visa and MasterCard, that is compliant because you are being showed both prices, either the full price or, and on the Clovers, right, it'll show every single item with both prices. So if it's whatever the case may be, literally every single item has 2 prices. That's a displayed price. If you only had that, you would be 100% compliant. Where it gets a little sticky and where you need to change it is if you actually have menu items. So if you have a menu item that says $10, but then your Clover says $10 for cash and $10.30 for credit, that's where the problem lies, because you have an item up here that's displayed to the public. You don't have both prices, or you don't have the higher price. So to answer your question, you have to display them in both places if you have a menu, or you only display the higher price. That is a way to go around it too. Some people just don't want to do both. They think it makes their menu look tacky. However, there are some places like Pizza Amore, one of our great clients, John, over there in St. Thomas. You go in his place, he has 2 prices on every single item on his menu board. Cash price, card price, 100% compliant. Same thing with 13 Restaurant or Rainbow over here, Rainbow by the Beach, Rhythms by the Beach in St. Croix. 2 prices on their menu, 100% compliant. Other way of doing it, some of our other restaurants, they just put the higher price on there. $10.35. You get a credit if you pay with cash. That's it. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Other questions?
All right. Lindsay, do you have any questions that you receive from, new people that you might want to bring up for us to answer today?
Let me think about it. Give me 1 second.
Lindsay is not the one to jump on here. I can do this forever. So the other thing with Salty Locs, right? The biggest thing with us is, as we've explained, there's no contract for our services. We do not put you in a contract. We also don't put you in a lease, right? Here's a little trick that other processors on the island do. You'll call them up and you need a Clover system. They'll come out and they'll quote you a Clover system. They'll say, oh, it's going to be $5,000. And you're like, man, that sucks. I don't want to pay $5,000. And you're like, all right, hey, or ding, 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 you can pay $150 a month for 4 years. Or they might even quote you the 4 years. They say $150 a month. You're like, oh, that's a lot better. I'll do that way. What they don't tell you about the lease, this is the tricky stuff here, is that lease doesn't stop automatically after 4 years. It is built into the lease terms that if you do not contact the company that you got the lease from within 60 days of your lease expiring, that it automatically renews for another year. So imagine that. You lease out a Clover system or whatever piece of equipment you lease out, and you just don't think about it because you're used to seeing that $150 on there. You're not going to remember in 3 years and 10 months that you need to go and cancel your lease. Never remember it. You're going to expect that the company you're dealing with has integrity, and then they're going to tell you when it's going to expire. They're not. That's how they make their money. And you're going to pay for that lease over and over and over and over. So let's say it's the 6th year now, and then you're like, oh, I finally got to remember, I got to get rid of this lease. So you call them up. I need to cancel my lease. Here's another kicker. That machine's not yours. You have to send it back to the lease company after paying for it 5 times over what it actually costs. You have to send it back to them. Or you can pay what is called fair market value. I think they call it 10% of fair market value. What fair market value is they take the amount of months you paid and the amount that you paid and put it together. Let's call it $7,000. And you're going to pay 10% of that, $700, to keep the system that you've been paying on for 7 years. It's absolutely insane. A couple other tidbits in there. One of the processors here on the island will try to convince you that if you don't get the lease, then you don't have a warranty on the system. That is also not correct. Clover comes with a standard 1-year warranty. The devices that come from Salty Locs also have what is called CPP, or Clover Protection Plan, built into them, which extends the warranty for another 3 years. So with all of our systems, you're going to get a 4-year warranty on that system. You do not have to be in a lease to get it. You do not have to be paying extra for to get it. That's how the program works. If you can't afford to pay for a Clover system up front with Salty Locs, again, one of the things we do for the people on the island is we put you into a no-interest loan. If it costs $3,000, we're going to divide it up over 24 months or 36 months, and whatever that payment is what you pay. We do not make money on your Clover placements. That is not how we do our business. We make money by handling your account, your no contracted account, right? Because there's no contract, through customer service, through answering the phone, through taking care of you, to keeping your payments low, keep all of that stuff down. That is how we earn your business. Our mentality is, instead of how much money can we make on somebody in 3 years, right? How much money can we not make on them over 30 years, right? I want to be the longevity of your account. So I want to set up a relationship with you, establish that relationship with you, keep that, become your credit card person, and extend that for the life of your business. That is the mentality at Salty Locs. All right. I'm enough of hearing me talk. Go, Lindsay. Bam. What you got for us, man?
I only had a question. The one question I get a lot is, when my system goes down, who do I call?
Call Salty Locs, right? It's
And
funny.
is somebody gonna answer? Is somebody gonna come by and check it out? That's
And
the question I get the most.
you answer your own question. What's the answer to that question? We can't hear you.
We gonna
There
call.
you go.
I
Yeah.
think
We
I think
gonna
a better
call.
question
We-
to ask is, with the other payment processors that you have, when you have a problem, who is gonna come?
Mm.
When are they gonna come?
We can't sit here and beat down the other processors.
I'm not beating down anybody. I'm just saying
We've-
we do have local service.
Yep.
And people on the ground.
You can actually see behind our Lincia there. That's actually equipment on island. So all of our equipment, Clover, Deja Vu, paper, whatever, we have it on island. That's the purpose. We have at any given time 20 units available to us. Those are new units. We also have them using them as backup units. You can ask any of our clients on the islands that have us. We get them replacements usually within 48 hours, sometimes a little bit longer, but not much. And we've heard the horror stories, haven't we, Linz? Of like, yeah, my system went down and someone had to send it to me from Puerto Rico and it didn't actually come and I got it a month later and I haven't been able to use credit card processing, yada, 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 yada. That doesn't happen with us. We purposely invested in this company before we started to put inventory. We have offices. We have an office in St. Thomas next to Walgreens, has a full inventory in it. We have an office above Gallows Bay, or above the bank in Gallows Bay in St. Croix, full inventory as well. We keep all inventory on island on purpose. You will never be down for an extended amount of time with us. That is the point of our services. Right?
Right. Not only that, we provide training as part of our services.
Talk to me. Talk to me, training girl.
So the next bonus that you have with us is that we come on site, we set it up, we install it, and we even set up training with your full staff so that everybody is aware and knows exactly how to run the machines.
Right.
And
Right.
that's just part of the service. That's at no extra charge.
That is correct. So we'll come on location. It even starts before that, right? So if it's a Deja Vu or something like that, we're working with you to put it on your website. We're going to train you on the back end. If it's Clover, we're helping you with your menu. We're building your menu a lot of the times. We're putting it in and going over your menu with you. Then we schedule an install with you. Then we come out, we train you as the manager staff, and we make sure all your stuff's set up right. Then on top of all that, we train your staff. A lot of times, if you're a restaurant or a location like that, we'll actually stay for a shift or stay for a few hours and just be there while you all work through the bugs and learn in the system. So you have someone to reach out to in case you have to, hey, can I do this? Or, hey, can I do that? Or can you help me over here? That's the point of us. It is service as a support. That is what we do. We come on location. We train you. We're not just going to send it to you in a box and tell you how to put it together. It is a one-stop shop with us. And then we maintain it after. And that's one of the really good things that Arlency and the St. Thomas team do over there as well as over here is you need extra support after the fact, or your Clover goes down, or hey, I got a new manager that's starting. Can you help me with so-and-so? Or I want to do online ordering. Can you help me with that? Or I want to set up a kiosk. Can you help me with that? We got it. Let me throw a little happiness out to my girl Arlencia. She put in the very first kiosk in the entire Virgin Islands in late mustard, the mustard seed over there, right? First one to be installed. What does the kiosk do? The kiosk helps you if you don't have the staff, right? That's one of the big problems we run into is not enough staff. So now they have a kiosk they can walk up to and make orders to, and it shoots it to the back. It eliminates you the need for having staff. It's really awesome, and it really takes care of itself, and it's integrated in the system. Really cool, really cool. What else we got?
All right. I have a local bank account I have to process with my bank.
Not true. Not true. Here's the deal. A bank is a bank, right? Here's a tidbit that maybe a lot of people don't know. Your bank is not an actual credit card processor. We have yet to meet a bank that's actual credit card processor. What your bank does is they go out and they contract with a company like us and say, hey, we're going to bring you guys clients. You guys give us a little bit of the money, and we'll even call it XYZ Merchant Services and make it look it's like part of the bank or whatever. But they're not actually the credit card processor. They're using us. The problem with that is now you're paying the bank and you're paying us, so you're paying double. There is not a single bank in the Virgin Islands that, I don't want to say this without throwing you in trouble. If you're processing with a bank, literally any bank in the Virgin Islands, without even seeing your statement, we can save you over 30%. Most of the time, it's like 40 or 50%. That's legit. I'm making that blanket statement right now. The bank is very expensive, right? Even if they process with another, whatever the case may be, the bank is very, very expensive to process with. One, customer service isn't really what you think it's going to be because you're calling in them for help. Like, hey, I'm going to call my banker, but your banker's not actually your credit card processor. So then they're going to call someone else. And it's just a whole, shenanigans going on. The other part of that is they don't take the time to learn your business. That's one of the great things that we do. If you call us, we're going to talk to you about your business. What do you do? What do you sell? How do you process your cards? What kind of payments do you take? Do you take payments online? Do you take payments in person? What's your average ticket? What are your kind of clients that are walking in the door? Do you sell more on the weekends? Are you opening? Whatever the case may be, we take the time on the front end so then to figure out what you qualify on the back end. What we mean by that is not all businesses are the same. That's 100% legit. Even restaurants aren't the same, right? I got my buddy Shoop down here. He sells burgers. Awesome. Shoop's on the boardwalk. Sells awesome. Burgers and beer. He's going to have a different ticket and a different crowd and a different way he does his business than maybe his restaurant at Estera that's a higher price ticket, right? That's more of a sit down, really nice, fancy. Two different things. They actually qualify for two different rates when it comes to Visa and MasterCard based on their tickets and how they process. Most of your banks, most of your other processors don't realize that. So we take the time to learn your business. But the long story short is you do not have to use your bank. We highly suggest you don't use your bank for your credit card processing. Let them be your banker, but do not let them do your credit card processing because you will pay out the wazoo for it. Right?
Right.
Boom. What else we got? Hi, Brian. Thanks for jumping on. From the States. What else we got? We got anything else to talk about?
Let me see. So you can do restaurants, spas.
There isn't much we can't do. There isn't much business that we can't do. The cool part is, and again, I'll reiterate this, we actually take the time to learn about your business and really learn what kind of your business you're trying to do. We're not just a 1-800 number, call us, get credit card service, and then, call us when there's a problem kind of thing. That's not what we do. We are your partner in business. Credit card processing in most businesses in the Virgin Islands is about 80% of your income, right? So you need a partner that's going to actually sit with you and actually help get where you need to go. And it goes more than just processing. We are your every part of that comes down to it. Your POS, how you do your menus, part of your advertising, whatever the case may be. That is what we do. And there isn't much business that we can't do. Going back to talking about our deja vu system, there are a ton of businesses that we go into that are using one way to take payments. They literally have a terminal and they're in the back on their computer typing in payments into the machine. This right here and typing in the payments on the machine while you're talking to someone on the phone costs you money. Costs you a lot of money. This right here in most places is set in a retail environment. Meaning you especially if you're using a bank or using one of the other processors, you're in a retail environment. Retail environment swipe cards. That's what this is for swipe cards or tap cards or whatever. You're talking to someone over the phone and you're taking payments and typing here. The machine's not made for that. You're going to pay a higher rate for that, more than what you would if it was set up right, just because you're in a retail environment, you're doing stuff with the phone. Now, we don't mean like if you're a pizza place or if you're a place taking stuff over the phone and you're doing this, randomly or whatever the case may be, because restaurants get blended rates. But retail stores, especially like we do business for some mechanical shops here, some plumbers, some electricians, pool places, things of that nature. Taking cards over the phone and typing this you're losing money. We give you the back end of that system, that whole virtual terminal that you have, your customer resource management, because we know that what goes in there is going to be 100% manual, and you get a better rate for it. You also don't get the implication of chargebacks. Oh, that's something to talk about. I've done chargebacks twice this week. So anybody that's been in the credit card business and been taking credit cards should know what a chargeback is. Julie comes into my store. She buys something from me. She gets home. I don't like what I bought. She doesn't want to call me and work it out. She's just going to call her credit card company and fight about it. You don't know anything about it. A couple weeks go by, and all of a sudden you see $500 come out of your bank. And you're like, what is this? You reach out, and we find out, hey, that's a chargeback. So-and-so came in your store, and they're upset. In any other processor, and we're not beating down processors, but this is one of the other reasons for us. It's customer service based. We are a customer service company. Salty Locs is a customer service company that does credit card processing. It's very important to know. This is where we live, right? So you call us, we're going to help you with the chargeback. We're going to get the documents from you. We're going to reach the processor. We're going to be the go-between to get this fixed for you. Anybody else, you're on your own. Any other processor, they are not helping you. They're not doing it. They're going to let you figure it out yourself, and you're going to lose a lot of them. Some of them you'll get back if you do the effort, but you're going to lose a lot of them. Again, one of the customer service things we do is it is full on, and we're going to help you with that. So I'm working on a couple right now in St. Croix, and the stupid things. What happened in their situation is a debit card. When a debit card gets swiped on a credit card machine, right? A debit card will automatically take that out of that person's bank account. So what I mean is you have a card from Chase Bank. You go and you swipe it for $5. For whatever reason, it doesn't go through on the machine, so they swipe it again for $5 and swipe it again for $5. On your bank, you're going to see 3 charges for $5. It'll say pending on it. The merchant, the business, actually only got paid on it one time, but you don't know what that is, so you file a chargeback. You're like, I got charged 3, 5, or 5 times or whatever. They only got charged once. We have to go in and we have to prove, hey, this is what happened. It didn't register the card, or maybe the guy swiped it too many times. It wasn't a transaction. They didn't get paid on it. They lose the chargeback. You keep your money. If you don't have us, it might not be the case. So just something to think about. What else you got?
Well, I feel like this is the first one, and we are here to educate. So the first one, we have to let the people know that we're here.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't get the response that I was hoping for as far as like having questions queued up. But, I know as time goes on, that's going to get better as people know that we're actually available for questioning. So I think we can.
Can I talk about you for just a minute? Let me talk about my partner and my beautiful wife. We also have a marketing department with our company. So we're not just going to come out and set you up and call it a day. This woman right here is dope. When I say dope, dope on a rope at what she does. We are going to show the world about your business. We will come in. We will do a full-blown shoot. We're going to take some pictures of everything. We might do an interview with you. We're going to take some pictures of your store. We're going to put you out there on our channels, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. We want to help promote your business just as much as you're helping promote our business, right? So we're going to help you do that. We're going to help get you out there and do those kind of things. And we have a marketing department that does that. She is behind all our really cool stickers. So our clients. Usually when you walk in, you're going to see a Salty Locs sticker. You see our logo. If you guys want to know the history behind that, that's actually her. This is her in a digital form. But the reason why we have this, and just talking a little bit about Julie here, the reason why we called ourselves Salty Locs is because we didn't want to sound like anybody else. We didn't want to sound like can I say the names? We didn't want to sound like everything else out there. The
payments
and this and that and that and this and that. We didn't want to be that. We wanted to be, when you said Salty Locs, we wanted to sound weird and like, yeah, that's the company. That doesn't sound like anything else. There's a purpose behind that, right? The other side of that is when you look at our symbol, we wanted something that actually embodied where we're from. Our business, when you get down to it, is woman-owned. It's owned by women of the Virgin Islands. It's owned by minority women or whatever the case may be, but it's owned in the essence of who we are in Salty Locs itself, is that we are from the islands and for the islands. We do not service accounts outside of here. We have a partner company in the States to take care of our stateside accounts. We only do Virgin Island accounts. We don't do Puerto Rico. We do Virgin Island accounts on purpose. We want a company that's born here, bred here, and built for here. And that is the purpose behind what we do. Right?
Correct.
And we dope at it. Two beautiful girls and a bald head guy. That's what's going on. Right?
We're all about community, and I like to see how all our merchants kind of work together. Just the other day, there was a posting from the Landings, and they're working with Replastic Recycle. And Replastic Recycle is also working with Zion Farm Distillery. They place all a lot of chairs. So, it's all about community and helping each other. That's why we're here.
Yeah. It's awesome to see. And it's awesome to get out here and just meet people, different revenues and different ideas and people's different takes on life and what's going on, and actually getting out here and having conversations. We love being a source of truth, transparency, and education for the clients we serve. We just really love what we do, and we're here to help you all in any way, shape, or form. Again, shout out to the DLCA. We want to give that moment. The DLCA is doing a good job. What they've sent out in regards to surcharging is 100% spot on. There are more than one ways to skin a cat, I'd say, so that's the other thing. It's like, that's 100% on surcharging, but everybody's not actually doing surcharging. There are other ways to do processing, and that's kind of what we're trying to push out there and show you guys. But again, shout out to the DLCA for trying to make that mandate. With the DLCA, they go on and say, hey, it's illegal to surcharge and this and this and that. Not just with the DLCA that you can be fined, but if you're actually doing an illegal surcharge program, you'll actually be fined by Visa and MasterCard for that. And their fines are going to far outweigh the DLCA. I mean, if you get caught by Visa and MasterCard doing something you're not supposed to be doing, you'll lose the ability to take Visa and MasterCard, which, if your business is relying on 80% credit cards, that's a huge kick in the pants to be able to have to overcome. Plus, you're going to be fined from them and have to fill out a whole thing and all that. So if you're unfamiliar or unsure about what you're doing, or you have questions about anything to do with payment processing, we're here. You can check us out at saltylocs.com. You can get on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I don't know, whatever else we do. We're not on Twitter, I guess. YouTube. You can track us down. This is what we do. We service both islands. We also have a ton of clients in St. John that St. Thomas services. We don't have any clients in Water Island yet, so if any Water Island people jump on here, we'd love to do that too. But we are here, and we'd love to help you all out. What else?
Call us.
Give us a call at that number, and then we'll answer. No, that's terrible.
Yeah,
that's terrible. Not on that. She's like kicking me on this. Like, shut up.
So we are available to you, like you said, www.saltylocs.com. We are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Email us at saltycrew@saltylocs.com. Send a smoke signal. We have a office in Gallows Bay, right above the Bank of St. Croix. And we also, and that's in St. Croix. We have one in St. Thomas that's just behind of Walgreens. The
Anna's
building.
Retreat, right?
Yes, in Anna's Retreat, just behind of Island Parts and Service. We service St. John as well from that office. we are available to give
We have a
free
couple
quotes.
clients in the BVI. We kind of work that around. So if you're in the BVI, give us a call. We can usually figure that out for you as well.
There's
We
some
can guide you.
scenarios.
Yeah.
Free quotes.
Free,
Reach
no
out to
obligation
us.
quote. So even if you're not going to do, here's the deal. We'll do a quote for you on your business and look at your credit card processing, regardless if you do business with us or not. We'll give you that free education. You can shoot us a statement and we'll review it for you. We'll show you where you can save money, how you can save money, and what you can do to save a little bit of money there, whether you do business with us or not. That is just what we offer for free.
That's it. All right, we'll see.
Go up the BI.
I don't know when we're gonna schedule the next one, but we are here and we want to do this more so that we can actually reach more of you. So just keep an eye on our social media, and you'll know when we go live again. Thanks for joining.
Deuces.